Well, hi, BookTube. Bill Ruttenberg here with the Ruttenberg Library. Wanted to come to you with a mail haul. Now, this stack of books comes from two of my really good friends on BookTube, Patrice Jones and Steve Donoghue. Now, these books were actually sent to me quite a while back. Quite a bit late in showing you these, but in my continued efforts to clean my library and get books up off the floor and off my little reading table and just get things shelved and put in order, in order to do that, I got to show you all these books. And so yeah, all of this is Civil War related. My good friends, they know me well. What can I say? And so I'm going to start with the book from Patrice. And I am very, very certain I have not showed you this. But this is by James L. Stokesbury, and it is a short history of the Civil War. And she had sent this, like I said, quite a while back, probably 2 months ago maybe, and I was super excited. She found it at one of her thrift stores that she goes to, or maybe it was an antique mall, but anyway, she had contacted me, Voxered me, and said, "Hey, do you have this? Would you be interested?" And I said, "Sure thing." And so she put her in the mail, sent it to me. And I was very, very glad to get it. So this is from William Morrow and Company out of New York, and it is a 1995 book. Now, James Stokesbury also has several other short history of, so he's got one for the Korean War, he's got one for World War I, World War II, and he's also got one for the American Revolution. I have the one for the American Revolution. And I remember reading it at one time, and I enjoyed it. So when she said she came across this one for the Civil War, I was happy to partake. And I know I would not mind having that World War I and World War II short history of. I might have to get on the ball and get to looking for those. But anyway, let me read the inside cover to you so you kind of have an idea of what's going on here. It says, written with the same comprehensiveness and in the same eminently readable style as the author's previous short history books, this lucid, objective account of America's Civil War takes readers from Lincoln's election in 1860 and the secession of the Southern states to the ultimate surrender of the Confederate Army at Appomattox in 1865. A short history of the Civil War covers all the important historical highlights of America's most devastating war, while providing many fascinating and little-known details. James Stokesbury recounts the military campaigns, presenting information on command strategies, weaponry, and troop strength for both the Union and Confederate armies, with 11 original maps of the major battle sites, including Gettysburg, Bull Run, and Antietam. Stokesbury shows how a war that was supposed to end quickly lasted through 4 horrible years and claimed 620,000 American lives. He captures the brilliance and desperation of the Union and Confederate generals and explains why they were some of the best military strategists in the history of warfare. He brings to life Generals Lee, Grant, and McClellan, as well as many of the officers in the field. And Stokesbury offers a unique look at each Army's leader, illustrating how Jefferson Davis and Abraham Lincoln embodied the struggle between the North and South. Readers will value Stokesbury's analysis of the larger issues of the Civil War era. He includes chapters on the economies of the North and South and the great political events that occurred during the war. The attitude back home. He discusses the debate over slavery and the use of black troops by the North. Stokesbury considers the technological innovations essential to successful campaigns, from the introduction of ironclads on the water to the use of railroads as lifelines on land. And Stokesbury shows why the Union ultimately prevailed. Here are the triumphs and defeats, the defining moments, and failures that together determined a crucial turning point in American and world history. A short history of the Civil War is a remarkable one-volume account and a concise and thorough introduction to America's Civil War. Sounds like it's going to be a good one. I enjoy reading about all those topics that they were talking about. So thank you to Patrice for sending that. I always appreciate when you're thinking of me as you're doing your own book shopping. Thank you for that. All right, so I have got a stack from Steve Donoghue. Now, you guys might remember over the summer, Steve had talked about at the Brattle, there were a whole bunch of Civil War books that came in, probably from one big massive collection, excuse me. And he had contacted me and said, hey, would you be interested in some of these? And I said, yes, I would. And so I was super excited to see. I actually had several boxes of books come in the mail late in the summer and into the early school year, into the fall. So I was real happy with that, and I appreciate that, Steve. Thank you very much for sending these to me. I can always use more books in my Civil War library. So this first one is an advanced uncorrected proof of, it's the Lincoln Anthology, Great Writers on His Life and Legacy from 1860 to Now, and it's edited by Harold Holzer. Now, anything by Harold Holzer is a must-read for me. I really enjoy his stuff, and there are all kinds of great writers on this list. It's really fine print, but I will try to, hey, you know what? Excuse me. Got my specs, so let me... it's a little better. All right, so it's got like William Cullen Bryant, William Dean Howes, Henry Villard, Artemus Ward, Ralph Waldo Emerson, Carl Sandburg, Woodrow Wilson, George Bancroft, just kind of skipping down through the list. Noah Brooks, Edmund Wilson, Walt Whitman, John Hay, John Nicolay, Jesse Week. I mean, it's just got all kinds of stuff in this. And there's, here, you can see all the writers that are in this. It's got all kinds of short little pieces. And I'm really excited about this. I think what I'm going to do is like every day take one or two writings and, read through one or two a day and then just kind of work my way through this and just see see what I can get out of it. I'm pretty excited about it. I don't think I really need to read the back. It's, just a bunch of different writers and their thoughts on Abraham Lincoln. So thank you for that, Steve. And my goodness, it's a massive piece. It is 967, at least 967 pages. And they haven't put in, well, I guess it's got some of the end stuff in it, but yeah, it's a big book. So thank you for that. Appreciate it. All right, the next one, Ordeal by Fire by Fletcher Pratt. And it says this is the best one-volume history of the Civil War I've ever read by Bernardo Devoto, and that's a pretty good little historian himself. But yeah, this has got a nice little cover on it. You can see it's an older book. You can tell by just the wear on the cover and everything underneath of the plastic cover. But it is. I wasn't familiar with this piece, so always good to get some new stuff. William Sloan Associates out of New York, and it's originally 1935 book, but this is revised edition is 1948. So it's got some age to it. But like I said, I'm always up for a different take on the Civil War. It says all history, military or otherwise, is a product of conflicts, a story of plans modified in action by the effects of other plans and other action. That is the way Fletcher Pratt writes of it. And that is why his history is inherently dynamic and exciting, not merely descriptive. Normally, publishers approach a republication with some hesitation. but not in the case of a book with the vitality and stature of Ordeal by Fire. We know of one historian who reads it for pleasure and has been through it 9 times. Another friend, an advertising executive, has reread it 7 times. One of the reasons for this kind of enthusiasm is that Mr. Pratt does not conceive of history as a series of static pictures. He is interested in the conflicts that produce the results we know as the facts of history. He believes that practically nothing happens that conforms even closely to anyone's plans for it. The plans of one party or general are always conditioned in their in their working out by the action on them of the plans of others. Thus, at Gettysburg, Lee was not confronted, as some historians like to suggest, with an inanimate physical obstacle in the form of a Union army that could be overcome, like a wall, by the proper amount of force intelligently applied. Instead, he was confronted by a Union army actively trying to put into effect the plans of General Meade. The difference is both obvious and great. And so I'm not going to read the inside cover. That kind of gives you, maybe a little bit of idea here. He's how he's writing this. So another history of the Civil War. Super excited. Thank you, Steve. Let's see. An advanced reader copy of Day in September, the Battle of Antietam and the World It Left Behind. Real excited about that. And basically just a history of Antietam. This had by Stephen Budiansky. Hopefully that's how you say that. W.W. Norton and Company. And this one came out this year, didn't it? September of 2024. So this is a brand new one. This had pretty good things said about it, if I remember right. So, nice history of Antietam. Now, for me, these next couple books, they go together. These next couple are, this is awesome. So historian J.G. Randall wrote a series of histories on Lincoln, and I've always wanted them, and I never could find them cheap. They're always pretty expensive, and here they are. Thank you so much, Steve. I was so excited, and they are hefty. But it's in 2 volumes. This is Lincoln the President, Volume 1, Springfield to Gettysburg. It's a reprint, so it's got a new introduction by Richard Current. This one it's by DeCapo Press out of New York, and it was reprinted in, let's see here, 1997, looks like. But this is a 1945 book, and so I always see it, but I never could pull the trigger on it. So I was real happy to get that. So that's the early one. And then, of course, it also had Midstream to the Last Full Measure, Volume 2 of that same series. So thank you so much, Steve. This was the find of the day, most definitely. And it's got, both of these have got a couple different books within them. It's done in volumes. So I think it was like a four volume biography of him. All right, here is another one. Now, this one, I want to say I bought this one. I don't think this one was from Steve. Maybe it was. Steve, if I'm wrong, I'm sorry, but I think I picked this one up. I think I saw this one, but I haven't shown it to you yet, so here we go. A Slave in the White House, Paul Jennings and the Madisons by Elizabeth Dowling Taylor. And I think this book's probably exactly what the title says. I've been reading slave histories here of late, and I saw this, and I'm pretty sure I'm the one that grabbed this one. I didn't get this one sent to me, but I was very happy to see this and pick it up. It's from Palgrave Macmillan, and it is from the year, let's see, 2014 looks like. 2014. So yeah, very happy to pick that up. Nice piece to go with some of my other writings. And then this one is pretty awesome. This one was from Steve. It is Lincoln in Caricature. So, cartoon form. Descriptive commentary by Rufus Rockwell Wilson. And let's see, introduction by Gerald McMurtry, maybe? Or is it Gerald Murtry? Hang on. The book cover has a tear in it. Yeah, McMurtry. And so this is going to be awesome. I'm going to really like this, I think. I was real happy when I saw this from Horizon Press, and it is from 1953. So it's got some age to it. That's all right. I like that. I think it's neat, but it's just got, you just kind of open up. It's got all kinds of the different cartoons that you would see in the newspapers and the magazines of the time. And then, just talks about it with each photo. And there's a whole bunch of them in here. So I'm real excited to get this, partake in that. And it's gonna go well with my Lincoln collection downstairs. So thank you, Steve, so much for these books. And thank you to Patrice for the one you sent. Just real happy to have these. Thank you very much. And BookTube, I hope that maybe this gives you, something to go look for. Thank you for watching. I hope everyone's having a great weekend. I know I am. This Thanksgiving weekend has been absolutely awesome. I've been able to get some videos shot and be able to put them up for you. So I had some of them that I recorded like 2 months ago and never got to the point of putting them up online. So I'm going back and putting some of those up. But yeah, BookTube, like I said, I hope you're all doing well and hope you enjoyed this. And until next time, happy reading.